Plaintiff Myra King says a few months ago the defendant reached out to her, claiming they may be related. Myra ignored the defendant at first, but once she realized that they may be sisters, she also wanted the truth. So she petitioned the court for a DNA test today. Defendant Joanne Atkinson says earlier this year her sister told her that when they were younger, she heard that Joanne had another sister somewhere, but none of them were allowed to talk about it. Joanne immediately started looking for her sister, and she hopes to find out the truth today.
All right, you two ladies seek to determine whether you're related, blood related. All right, and how did it come up at such a time in your life?
Well, this past July, I was on Facebook, and Miss Atkinson reached out to me saying we might be related, so I didn't pay her no mind. So about 2 days later, the girl that I was on Facebook with messaged me and told me to contact her because she was trying to get in contact with me. I still didn't pay it no mind. So by the next week, I went to my mom's house and checked the mailbox, and there was a letter in there from her. And I read the letter, and I seen where her dad's name was at there. I said, yeah, I remember Mr. Charles. So I called her, and I told her, I said, I don't think we related. I said, I married a king. I said, that's not my maiden name. And she was like, no. She said, I think we're related. She said, you need to go talk to my cousin. So I did, and me and her was, texting back and forth and stuff, and I had to know because my mom had 4 kids. All of us had different dads. And one of my brothers, he was like 55 back in 2012 when she told him that his dad might not be his dad. So I said, I'm not gonna doubt it because my mom did have secrets. And I didn't want to go the rest of my life wondering, was she my sister? So that's why I petitioned the court.
Okay, good. Let me hear from you.
Back in June, we was on a vacation, family vacation, and just so happened that one of the kids said something about I was the spoiled one because I was the youngest one of the family. And so my sister said something about, well, she knows she has a sister out there, supposed to be a sister out there somewhere. And so my son or somebody said, Ma, you didn't tell us you had a sister. I said, I don't know about a sister. So I asked my sister, I said, what are you talking about? She said, oh, well, back in the day, we couldn't say anything. So it's said to be out there that you got a sister somewhere. So I started digging and trying to find things. So I called an older cousin, and she said, yeah, I know about it. She said, yeah, I remember when Uncle Charles used to bring the lady by here, and the lady was pregnant, and she had a girl. So I thought you knew about it. She said, it's funny that you just called. She said, because I just saw that lady. And I said, well, can you get in touch with the lady? And she said, well, I'll try. So she kept trying to get in touch with the lady, and she couldn't. And then finally she told me, she said, guess what? The lady had passed. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, well, go to the library and get an obituary or something. And then, so maybe a couple of days, maybe a week later, she called me and said she had the obituary. So she read off the names. That's how I determined it was Myra. So then I started reaching out on Facebook.
Read off her name?
Right.
Was in the obituary?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she read off the obituary. And so I reached out from that names. I started, pulling up those names on Facebook. And, like I said, nobody responded. So then I asked my cousin, I said, what is the address? Because they was taking flowers at that address. So she gave me the address. So I wrote to that address. I didn't want to say too much in the letter because I didn't know if it, how she would feel. So I told her to give me a call. And when she gave me a call, that's when she explained to me that she was married to a king. And then I asked her, did she know my father? And she said, yeah. And then I said, well, if you don't mind, I said, would you go and talk to my cousin? I said, my cousin seems to know every detail, and she could tell you more than I can tell you. So my cousin really filled in her head because, matter of fact, after some days or so, I reached out to Myra because she hadn't, reached out. And I said, well, did you ever talk to my cousin? She said, yeah. She said, I'm just in a daze. She said, I can't believe my mama did this. I said, I can't believe my dad did this. I was the baby. Now I'm not the baby anymore.
That's your only problem. Huh?
Sorry.
My mom had 4 kids. All of us had different dads. And one of my brothers, he was like 55 back in 2012 when she told him that his dad might not be his dad. So I said, I'm not gonna doubt it because my mom did have secrets.
Plaintiff Myra King petitioned the court for a sibling DNA test. because a few months ago, she learned that the defendant may be her sister.
Let's go and get the results. I don't know. I hope it's just not gossip, ma'am. Hopefully this is true because you thought it was based on the name, but it's her married name. And then the other folks we're talking about sound like neighborhood gossip.
Well, I told her.
But I hope it is the case that you all are sisters. Well, I'll just say this. It says testing of additional relatives is recommended. What? It says less than a 10% chance. But the good news is it says testing of additional relatives could provide more clarity. So we'll help with that. If you want to bring in some other relatives, we'll help you there as well.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, we'll keep this pursuit live until we get a final resolution. Most of the test results say 99.9, or they say totally non-related, or 0.01 or something like that. In this case, says it's 9.5% likelihood. So bring in some more. All right?
Okay.
So don't give up yet. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.
I just want to say that I still feel like she my sister, and I just want to give her a hug. Can I give you a hug?
Sure.
Thank you.
I just want to say it was an experience that I've never had, and I want to say, well, we are sisters, so
Yeah.
yes.
Regardless.